morning and welcome back to Bali TV. On this week's show, we are discussing the upcoming development of the new bar on Canggu beachfront. Today, we are lucky enough to have 4 stakeholders to give us their perspective on the development. Our 4 stakeholders include Lucy, who is the developer of the bar, Aniza, who is a local resident who lives near the site and agrees with the development, Katut, who is another resident living near the bar that is however against the development, and Rhonda, who is the president of the Dune Care Association. So let's get started.
So with the latest volcano eruption, Bali is in a current loss of $1.5 billion in the tourist industry, and it needs a new development and tourist spot. And my development is here to help. Canggu is the perfect place for these beautiful beaches with warm weather, copious amounts of land and some of the world's greatest surf. This new beach bar has the potential to yield a large amount of money. I have developed similar existing beach clubs in Bali, such as Mississippi and Potato Head Club.
What's to say that the locals will actually benefit from this development? 85% of developments that occur in Bali actually go towards investors and the developers themselves, none of it which comes to the Balinese people like Katut and myself.
As a Balinese, I have been raised here and I graduated from uni. It's taken me years to find a job, and my brother already moved to another city to find a job. So everyone moving out from this city. So locals are not having a positive change. So why not support this development?
Well, they want to build this development over the top of terraced rice paddies and sand dunes. I work in the terraced rice paddy where they're planning to build this development. So by developing a job for you, they're taking away a job for me.
Jobs are hard to find. We can't make enough money to enjoy the facilities that we already have. We need more businesses to run, and we need more jobs to open for locals, young and adults. Rice paddies are not enough to support a whole family.
And I'm here to help, and I'm happy to give locals jobs at all of our facilities. Additionally, the increased amount of tourists in the actual area will aid with the beach vendors and surf schools that are already set up on the front shore.
And 95% of the time, the people that actually come here, like the tourists and everything like that, come here because we're a renowned surfing destination. Are they gonna come if it's filled, if our sand dunes and our beaches are actually filled with waterfront properties and developments and everything like that? There's gonna be no beach left by the end of it. With all this urbanization.
People love our natural vegetation. People love the fact that we're underdeveloped. People love that the streets are not crowded and the local markets are authentic. When you come here, if you go to the local markets, you won't be ripped off because you're foreign. And the locals will have a lovely chat to you because they're not overrun by tourists. They still find it exciting that tourists come here. We don't think, oh, more tourists. They're just, ruining our place. Urbanization causing, rubbish and litter. And, bringing in all of these English tourists, all of these American tourists, people like that, we have not travelled. We are not a wealthy nation.
Exactly.
We're not familiar with this kind of culture. Bringing in all of these people is going to be a culture shock for the residents of this town, and we don't want to feel uncomfortable in our own home.
But life on the farm does not hold the promise it once did, and that's why we need to give it more thought to this development. Our great-great-parents have been working on rice paddies, and how do we expect our future generations would want to continue doing that for the rest of their life? Some of these kids are in danger to become involved in crimes. We need to protect them before it's too late.
In terms of socially and ruining your dynamic of a quiet town, I want to keep that, but it also has the potential to bring a wider community together and hold events and collaborate with companies such as World Surf League and have big nights with local bands.
But you have to remember that this is such a residential village with lots of families, lots of small children. Bands playing until all hours would interrupt our laid-back atmosphere. These people don't want to be kept up until all hours because of loud music.
As a Balinese, we always love the culture. It's about our people, our unique culture. We can tell them stories about our own music, our own dance, our own dance. So we always love the noise, we always love the dancing, we like the entertainment, and we want to share it with people outside of our country. They come here.
Think about Seminyak, think about Kuta. These places do not have any culture because mass tourism has taken over Bali and it's just completely wiped out our culture. People come to Canggu for a more authentic side of Bali. Because it's not overdeveloped, we still have an authentic side to our town.
That's true that Kuta and Seminyak are located very close by. However, one of Bali's biggest environmental issues is overcrowding with noise pollution. These areas need to be decluttered. The smart thing to do would be to bring them to the new development in Canggu to disperse the 4.4 million tourists that visit every year to Bali.
And what's to say that the actual beach itself can actually accommodate for all of these international events? Like, I get that the events can bring mass tourism and like economic aspects, but I'm more concerned about the environment. What are all these events going to do to the environment?
Of course, and we have considered this problem, and we are wanting to make the project and the bar to be as environmentally sustainable as possible. So one of our aims is to educate all tourists about sustainable practices. We're also going to be plastic free, including no plastic straws or plastic bags. We're also going to give tourists rewards for disposing of their rubbish properly, so such as discounts at restaurants and using our facilities.
As part of the Dune Care Association, I've seen firsthand what previous developments have done to the natural environment, especially to the sand dunes. The current bar that's on the waterfront at the moment has impacted the sand dunes and rice paddies. So it has caused contamination, it's caused groundwater depletion, and it seems to me that no one is actually considering the environment, which is the biggest factor in this situation, as because that's essentially what we're going to build on if the development goes through. So I just really think that you actually have to consider like the sustainability and like the resources and everything if you are going to go through with the development, that needs to be something that you really consider, because we are the ones who are actually living and working in this environment.
In terms of key environmental sustainability, we're going to use the take on new urbanism, where we're reducing, reusing and recycling development material from past projects. We'll be using pallet wood as well as salvaged metal to create the bar. You may be worried about erosion on the sand dunes and poor management, but we will be ensured to be using techniques of site hardening on top of the dunes to protect it from excessive force.
We already suffering as locals. Another thing to point out here is our roads. Anyone who has been to Canggu would know that there are no roads along the beach in Canggu, which makes it really troublesome to drive from one beach to another. It would take you 3 minutes to walk, but to get there by bike, you have to drive 4 kilometers inland to get to the big main road, where you can find the road that leads to the next beach and give the 4 kilometers back again. So unless you find the shortcut, it takes time and a lot of effort to just travel around our village. It's ridiculous. And you have seen the news. It's already so many accidents already been happening because the road is so narrow. Don't think about the tourism. As locals, we have to be safe, we have to drive safe.
Well, widening our main access road really does take away some of the authenticity of our town and our small town charm. That's the thing about small Balinese villages, is they have narrow roads. We don't have cars, we can't afford cars, we walk around or we bike. So why do we need these huge main access roads so tourists can come in on their buses and just completely pollute our town?
The road is something that we need for the development to bring all the equipment in. It's something that's only going to take about 4 to 6 months, so and it's something that in the long run will probably end up happening anyway, so why not do it now?
We already have a beach bar here, why do we need another one?
Exactly, why not just focus on that one and improving that? If it's not doing as well, why not just to improve that, and instead of building another one and destroying the beach further? That would make more sense.
In our research, we did come across that there is the existing bar, and we found that they aren't doing very well. That's where I came in as the developer. Since owning Potato Head Beach Club, which is one of the hottest beach bars in Bali, we've been featured in Forbes magazine in 2016, and we've accumulated over 82,000 followers on Instagram. So we have cult followers that love our bars, and people that come specifically to Seminyak to visit Potato Head Beach Club. So that's where I want to come and bring my bar to this area, because I know how to develop and I know what the people want. So I know that this bar hasn't done very well, but I'm ready to bring my development skills to the area.
Will you consider purchasing the bar that's already here and developing on what's already there, instead of building over sand dunes and grass paddies to create something else when this other one is just going to sit there unused.
That is something that I definitely think that we would consider, because that's a way that we would be able to reuse and reduce the recycling materials, so I think that would be a good idea.
That would be something that we would be happy with. Even though we're not entirely for the development, I think if you were really to consider the environment and just the social impacts that affects us, mainly as residents, I just think that's probably the way to go.
We would like to thank Lucy, Anisa, Rhonda and Katut for coming in today and discussing their opinions. If you would like more information on the topic or to leave a comment, head to our Twitter page. We hope you have a good day and thanks for tuning in.